Hi, and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be tackling the problem on the screen, where we're given a string S, and we can make every single letter either uppercase or lowercase, and we just leave the numbers alone. So here you can see in A1, B2, we can make A either lowercase, which is these two, or uppercase, which are these two. We can also make B uppercase or lowercase. So you can see here it's lower and here it's upper. So in total, there are four possible combinations of this string that either have uppercase or lowercase. So in order to code this, we're going to be using a recursive function. And this recursive function will have the first parameter of current and the second parameter of remaining. What does this mean? So if we have something like A1, B2, like we saw in the example, we're going to first do the recursive function of current having nothing and remaining having A1, B2. The next time, we're going to be having either uppercase or lowercase a because the recursive function will call both, and remaining will have 1, B2. The next time I'll have uppercase or lowercase a, then I'll have the 1, and then I'll have B2. And the next time I'll have uppercase or lowercase a, 1, uppercase or lowercase b, and then 2 will be in remaining. And last we will have uppercase or lowercase a, 1, uppercase or lowercase b, and then 2. And then this is where it'll end. So remaining is just a way to take every single letter and make it either uppercase or lowercase. So current will be the current string going on, and remaining will be the remaining string we need. So when we get into this recursive function, there are two possible scenarios. You can first see here that if remaining is empty, that means we're done. So if remaining dot length is less than equal to 0, that means we're done. So we need to add the list to the list, we need to add current. But first, let's create this list. So private static list string list. And inside this function here, I'm going to create that, initialize that. So we're just going to add it to the string list that we're returning. Else, we have to take the first letter of remaining. So we have string c is equal to remaining dot char at 0 plus plus these two strings to make it a string. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create string temp remains is equal to remains dot substring of 1. The reason I'm doing this is because inside the recursive function we're going to be passing in temp remains, right? Because we don't want the remaining, because then I'll keep calling that same letter over and over. But the reason that we're not just making this remaining is because remaining is an object. So if we call the recursive function again, it's going to be affecting the same string as if we called it as the other recursive call. So if two recursive calls, they're going to be affecting the same string, and we don't want that. So that's why we're going to be creating another string so that they are affecting two different strings. So once we get to this stage, there's two possible scenarios for what C is. C can either be a number in which we want to leave it alone, or it can be a letter. So if it's a number, we don't want to call it twice because then that's duplicating that string. So that's why we want to check to see whether it's a number. So in order to do this, I'm going to create a private static numbers, and this is going to be equal to just all the numbers inside. This is going to be equal to all the numbers, all the numbers, right? All the single digit numbers. And if we have an if numbers dot contains C, that means this is a number, right? it is either like 1 or 2 here. And that in that scenario, we just want to call recursive once. So I'm going to again create a temp current so we're not affecting the string, and that's just going to be current plus C. And then recursive is going to be temp current, comma, temp remain. So if it's a number, we're just going to add that number to the current string and just call recursive once. Else, if it's a letter, we have two possible scenarios. First, temp current 1 is where C is uppercase, so 2 uppercase. The second scenario is that we want to make it lowercase, so current 2, to go current plus C dot 2 lowercase. And we want to call recursive for both of them. So recursive is going to be temp current 1, temp remaining, and recursive of temp current 2, temp remaining. And I think I spelled recursive. Okay, there we go. And this is actually called temp remain, so let's change that. So what we did here is that if it's a letter, we're going to create one current for it uppercase, one current for lowercase, and just call recursive so that it will create a string that is both uppercase and lowercase. So now we're done with the recursive function. All we need to do now is just recall recursive in here and return the list. And I'm just going to make this static real quick. So now we're done with our program. All we did was create this recursive function that will generate the list, and we return that list. So now let's test it out with the A1 B2 string. Now you see that we got all the possible combinations correct. So that's it. This is our complete program and it's completely functional. So I hope to see you next time.